This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So let's first discuss about the agenda of this session. So first we will cover about what Mulesoft is and on a bigger picture where Mulesoft is going to be used and where exactly what are the advantages of Mulesoft uh, comparing with that Mulesoft with Spring Boot and Django frameworks. Firstly, we will discuss on this topic on a bigger picture. We will not go deep dive into the course content of the MuleSoft. We will see what exactly MuleSoft is and some of the use cases in the real time industry where MuleSoft is going to be used. So then we will jump into FAQs. So I already prepared a few FAQs where collected few FAQs from the candidates. I prepared a document on it. I will discuss on all the FAQs. So once the FAQs are done, if you still have, if your queries are not resolved yet, you can ask. So then I will jump into the topic, a bit deep diving into the MuleSoft, what exactly the life cycle of the MuleSoft is and what are the MuleSoft roles. See, our ultimate goal is to get the job to, or if you are if you are a job seeker, your ultimate goal is to get the job. If you are looking for a role change, our ultimate goal is to change from existing domain to the MuleSoft domain. So what are the roles that will be available in the MuleSoft? So from this course, what can be the roles that you can apply for? So what is the market of that roles? What is the current market that we will see? Yeah. So let's start our session with what exactly MuleSoft is. You are able to see my screen, correct? Type yes if you are able to see the slides, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, I see yes. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. So before jumping into the topic, so this topic, right? Let's consider a traditional ways in our real life. So how if you see the first statement integration, the first word integration, where exactly MuleSoft comes into picture. So whenever you use MuleSoft, before using MuleSoft, there's something called integrations. So what is an integration? Is so putting IT definitions apart, software definitions apart, if you consider in our real life what an integration is nothing but if you see an English definition, it's nothing but a combination of something that gluing something like that. If you let me tell you with an example where real life example. See, you are the candidates, you are the trainees, and I am the trainer, I am the instructor. So we both connected through an academy called Harsha Academy. So I, Charan, as an instructor, got connected to the candidates who want to learn MuleSoft. Who is the integrator here? The integrator is, there is a middleman. Is an Harsha Academy is the middleman. So he is doing something. He is connecting us. Is connecting us through by providing few links. Is providing a link where I'm opening the meeting. Where after I'm opening the meeting, you are joining. So he is providing, he is a bridge. He is a bridge between, is gluing the instructors and the candidates. It's a traditional, it's a real life example where we are integrating, where the instructors are getting integrated to the candidates, correct? So in the real life as well, if you consider this as a business, this is a business, right? Harsha Academy is a business where they are integrating the instructors to the candidates. So where if consider the Harsha Academy fails to integrate both, like they forgot to send the link to the instructor and they sent the link to the candidates, where the instructor didn't join, where the candidate joined into the meeting. So there it's an integration, there is a problem with the integration, correct? So when you consider this to the software example, so same thing. So when you consider software, what exactly happens in software. See, software, whenever we are dealing with the word software, data comes into picture. So whatever we do on data, with data, for data, correct? So now data, to transmit data, if you consider Harsha Academy as an integrator, he want to transmit that data, nothing but links or data. He want to transmit the data to the instructor, and he want to transmit the data to the candidates. He need to use some tool. So where he is using WhatsApp to send that data, correct? In the software as well, integrations are nothing but combination or sending data, representing data, sending data from one place to another place, from one system to another system. So this is from the software front. What integration, definition of the integration is: sending data from one system to other system is known as integration. So how we are going to do that is a different thing. So we can do that using Mulesoft. So what are the tools that you are going to use? Through Mulesoft you are going to do, or to Spring Boot or Django frameworks or any other middleware technologies like Jitterbit or Tipco, etc. So what is the best suitable for your business? You will choose that tool and you will implement it. Yes. So this is definition of integration from the software front. Yeah, if you consider, if you want an example on integrations, so let's pick an example of amazon.com. Amazon.com, when you go into the search bar and your intention is to buy badminton shoe, you go to amazon.com and type badminton shoe. So in the backend, and you will be waiting for the result in the browser. On top of your browser, it will be loading. So that means something, whatever the data that you sent is received and transmitted to the server in the backend, and you will get the data back, and you will see the results of all the badminton shoe. So this thing, how this getting the data and transmitting the data and coming getting the data back, who is going to do this? So this one is the middleman. So there should be some integrations to do that. So who is going to do, we will see moving forward. And so this is how they integrate different systems, so that it goes there, fetches the data, pulls the data from the servers, and displays you the data. So this is what the definition of an integration is. Any questions on definition of the integration?
No, no.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's move ahead. Where middleware comes into picture. So there is a middleman. Let's see our real life example. We already discussed where there is an Harsha Academy, where it is getting connected. It is connecting the instructors and the candidates. So instructors now, if you see, instructors is an application A. If you consider instructors as an application, as a Java application or .NET application, any software application. So in instructor B, sorry, trainees as application B. So instructors as an application A, trainees as application B. So now I want to, so there is a middleman, who Harsha Academy is the middleman. He is transmitting the data to A and to B, correct? So here there is middleman. In our real life, we are calling as a middleman or consultancy. What he is doing is his job to sit in middle between the instructor and the candidate. Here middleware also comes into picture. If you consider software, middleware is nothing but it's a software that integrates two applications. There is an application A, there is application B, and you want to integrate them. You want to transmit the data from A to B or B to A. You want to do, there should be some transmission. They need to be connected to each other. Consider application A is built on Java, application B is built on .NET. So how can I communicate? So these are two different software, two different languages that I built on. So who can transmit the data between the application A and application B? There now middleware software comes into picture, where middleware is, if you see this definition, middleware is a software that lies between operating system that connects applications for transmission of the data. Yeah. So this is the definition of the middleware. So when it comes to MuleSoft, so MuleSoft is in the layman term, MuleSoft is a middleware tool. So whenever there is a middleman, when these kinds of scenarios occurs, if you want a middleman, you can use MuleSoft. So what are the use cases where middleman comes into picture? That is, middleware comes into picture. So let's see the use cases. Let's see 3 to 4 use cases. The real-time examples where we can use MuleSoft. One, if you want, as we discussed on example, where if you want to transmit the data from application A to application B. So how these transmissions will be done? By using APIs. What an API is? Application program interface. API means application program interface. So what an API is? So we will discuss moving forward. So first use case. Okay, let me write a running notes. So I will providing you these presentations. So these presentations will have minimal notes, and whatever the notes that I will be providing, I will be providing the Google Docs. It's a running notes where I will provide you once we start our sessions. Yeah, I'll update these notes. Use case 1, application A. Application B. So this is the first use case where application A, there is some software. If you consider there is an SAP system. If you don't know the SAP system, just ignore it. Consider it's just an application. There is an SAP system, and there is a Salesforce system. Application B has a Salesforce system, and you want to transmit the data from SAP system to the Salesforce system. If you don't know what SAP is and what Salesforce is, you just ignore them. Don't be in impression that you don't know SAP and Salesforce. These are don't think that these are prerequisites for this topic. No. So I'm just giving an example for this application A and application B. So if there is an application A, consider it is an SAP system, and application B of Salesforce system, and SAP want to migrate all its data from SAP to Salesforce accounts. So here, who can be the middleman? So what is the middleman that they can use? Here, MuleSoft comes into picture. So MuleSoft is the best tool to migrate the data from one system to the other system. Yeah, this is the real-time example where there are big projects on these specific migrations, SAP migrations, especially most of the projects, most of the industries, you see these kinds of projects where there are SAP migrations. SAP, they will pull the data from the SAP and putting into the Salesforce, or they will be sourced as a Salesforce. They'll pull the data from the Salesforce and put it in different staging tables or different target systems. So these are the real-time projects. Yeah, in big MNCs there will be projects related to this migration projects. Yeah. Use case 2, ecom. So ecom, so how MuleSoft can be used in e-commerce domain? So e-commerce domain, let me put front end. MuleSoft backend. As we all know, Amazon. Let's consider. Sorry. Let's consider Amazon. Amazon front end. Front end may be developed in any technology. It can be Angular or it can be anything. I made a slide for this. Let me show you. Yeah. So if you see front end, the languages can be JS or Angular, anything. The front end technologies. By using front end, you have developed the front end. Everything is cool. So that need to connect it to backend system. Now, as we see in the previous example, I want badminton shoe. So I go to front end. I'll type badminton shoe. Yeah, it comes. It does not go to backend directly. It comes to the middleware. In middleware, if there is any filtration needed, it will do and it will pick and it will trigger the backend. In middleware, most of the things are APIs is nothing but transmitting the data. Where APIs will be used, APIs are nothing but URLs. APIs, we will be using APIs. We can develop APIs using MuleSoft. What an API is and how an API will look like, we will discuss. If you don't have any idea, that's fine. But put in mind that in MuleSoft, large use cases developing the APIs where transmission of the data becomes easy. So we'll discuss these topics when we come into web services. When we come into a topic like web services, what a SOAP web service is and what REST web services are, and inside REST web services we come into APIs. That's not an issue. I just want to, if you are already having knowledge of APIs, then well and good. Yeah, anyway, we are going to discuss in coming sessions. Yeah. So front end Amazon, in Amazon, I have search with badminton shoe. It comes, it does not go to backend directly. There will be some middleman, that is called middleware technologies. The middleware technologies here can be MuleSoft, Spring, Django, any language. So we can use MuleSoft. The one of the most used concept here is MuleSoft. MuleSoft can be used as middleware for e-commerce sites where they connect to the backend systems like Java, Python, or SQLs, any SQLs or any servers, any file systems or any AWS file systems. It can connect. It can pull the data and uh, sends the same data to the front end systems. So this is one other use case. Yeah. These two use cases, are you clear on what exactly middleware and MuleSoft is? Are you clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me move forward. Yeah, I forgot to tell this statement. Yeah. So most of the digital initiatives fail due to integrations. If there is no proper integration, right? So I didn't write the definition here of the integration. I wrote a statement. So the statement is so most of the digital initiative, whenever we try to build a software on integrations, so sorry, when we try to build an software, most of the softwares fail when due to integration problems. It's a stat. Okay, let's go back to the use cases. The third use case. Yeah. If you have knowledge on ETL, extract, transform, load. Yeah. Where the first use case and third use case are a bit similar, but here only pulling data and pushing data is done. Here, what is we are doing is heavy loads. By using heavy loads, extract, transform, and load. So in most of the AI use cases or artificial intelligence use cases, where you while designing some AIs, you may need transmission of the data from one system to other system by transforming the data. One system A needs. Let me copy this. Yeah. Yeah. System A, there is an SAP system, fine. So we'll extract the data. We are going to pull the data from the SAP system A, application A. We are going to extract the data. Then we are going to transform the data. These are of heavy loads, like consider 2 million records, 30 million records, 40 million records. That can be done in MuleSoft by ETL. How that can be done by using batch processing and all, like we will discuss the subtopics we will discuss. So on a bigger picture, on huge MuleSoft supports huge data transmissions as well. So pulling, extracting millions of data from one system, transforming whatever the required transformations is there, will transform it. Application A, consider application A is sending employee ID, employee name, but application B require only employee name. So there we need to filtration, there is some filtration where we need to load into the application B with only employee name. So here at the transformation section, we are going to filter out that application ID and send only application name. So we are going to load that application name into the application B. Sorry, employee name into the application B. Yeah. So this is the third use case, and a few more use cases useful. Messaging brokers. So you may have seen the messaging brokers. If you have the knowledge of how messaging brokers work, if you don't have the knowledge, let me give you a small example. Wherein let's consider you are in Kukatpalli and I am in LB Nagar. So both are different ends. So where I need to give some parcel. Let's consider in Kukatpalli there is an application A, and in LB Nagar there is application B. So from application A, there is application A need to send the data to the application B. Okay, don't consider it an application. Let's consider it as people, persons. There is a person in Kukatpalli and there is a person in LB Nagar. The person in Kukatpalli need to send some parcel to the person in LB Nagar. So the person in Kukatpalli starts in metro and comes to LB Nagar and delivers the parcel. So these need to happen at every Saturday. So the person in LB Nagar need to start every Saturday. Both need to send the data to each other. The Kukatpalli person need to come in the morning, and LB Nagar person need to come in the evening. LB Nagar person will start in the metro and will go to Kukatpalli and delivers the parcel. So here what happens is one fine day the Kukatpalli person, he has started, but there is no availability of the person who is staying in LB Nagar. So he waits for that person and he goes back. That means there is some loss. That is he is trying to deliver something, but the person was not available. So or these two there is if you see this use case, there is high transmissions. That means the first Kukatpalli person need to start and go to LB Nagar, and this person also need to LB Nagar person also need to start and go to Kukatpalli. So in what they comes into picture, by resolving this business problem, what they do is to avoid this n number of transaction, they will hire a middleman in Amirpet. What they do is they come at whatever time, they deliver to that person, and this person goes back. At whatever time this LB Nagar person is available, he comes and he takes the parcel, and whatever the parcel he have, he gives to that person who stays in Amirpet. So there is a middleman there. Here, whenever if you consider this of exchanging the messages, if the person in Kukatpalli wants to deliver the message to the LB Nagar person, there is a middleman where he delivers everything to that middleman. Whenever that LB Nagar person comes, he will deliver all whatever the Kukatpalli person has delivered to the LB Nagar person, and takes whatever the LB Nagar person gives and waits for the person from Kukatpalli to come. So this is the functionality of the broker. The same, whatever the example that I told, if you consider this, there is an application A, there is an application B, they want to transmit the data, but application A is sending the data, but application B is not ready to receive the data. So they will hire a middleman where I will send the data into the queues or topics. So where queues and topics, whenever the messaging brokers comes into picture, you will get queues and topics into the topic. So application A, what he sends is, he sends the data, instead of sending to application B, he sends the data to the um, queues. Queues are topics. What a queue is, what a topic is, we will discuss that forward. So what a queue is? Queue is nothing but a persistent unit, something like a database. It's a persistent unit. So he stores in that queue. So what he does is, then application B comes, picks the data and puts the data, whatever required data that is. So there is a broker. Whatever he's exchanging the messages is an broker, messaging broker. It may be queues or topics. So Mulesoft supports connecting to the different brokers. It may be JMS, ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, Kafka, different brokers. So I know I went bit speed in the fourth use case. If you're not able to understand this fourth use case, I can repeat that with a different example. Uh, uh, are you good? Type S in the chat bar if you want me to move forward. Yes, I see. Yes, yeah, thank you. Let me write it down. Yeah. So you're able to understand, these are the different real-time. So the most of the projects, whatever the projects, if you get a job, most of the use cases will be, you will be working on these type of use cases in a real time. Your job, your role will sit here, MuleSoft developer, and you will be doing some one of these use case. Yes, let me. So this is first slide. So when we move forward, so this example we already discussed on one of our use case. Yes. So okay, so before going to the life cycle, I would like to discuss on the FAQ. FAQs. Let me pull out the FAQs. I will share you this FAQs as well. Okay, so before this, before starting the FAQs, do you have any questions related to the topic that we discussed about MuleSoft is? Okay, let me try to discuss few more things. Advantages. Advantages of MuleSoft. So we have seen the use cases. Those are nothing but the advantages. So when we comparing the advantages with the Spring Boot or Django frameworks or any other MuleSoft any other integration technologies like Tipcode, Jitterbit, etc. The advantage of MuleSoft is it's a low code. There is no Java prerequisite. If you have Java knowledge, that's fine. When you compare that to the Java or Django frameworks, it is easy to develop, as it is drag and drop. It is easy to develop. So whatever the code that you develop in MuleSoft, um, uh, so consider if you want to develop an API in Spring Boot, the same API that you want to develop in MuleSoft, if it takes 1 day in Spring Boot, it takes 1 hour in MuleSoft. So the coding speed will be easy. So the connectivity is that due to the connectors and due to the connectors that MuleSoft exposes and routing logics that MuleSoft exposes, it is easy to design. It is easy to implement the business requirement. Um, um, Yep, this is from comparison friend from Spring Boot, Django frameworks. MuleSoft is way better. From the deployments front as well, it is easy to integrate CI/CD. All the organizations, the deployment will be done through CI/CD. In our sessions, we will be discussing CI/CD tools as well, how to integrate the CI/CD tools to Mulesoft. So how's Jenkins, we are going to use Jenkins, and we are going to see how exactly we are going to integrate that Jenkins to the CI repositories or CD things. So Mulesoft, from the advantage, Mulesoft is easy to integrate with CI/CD tools. Yeah, we will be using Maven project management tool, where it makes us easy to integrate with CI/CD. So from this, what is Mulesoft on a bigger picture? You are able to answer, right? If someone asks you what exactly Mulesoft is, you should be able to answer these use cases, or where exactly Mulesoft will be used. So on a bigger picture, we are not going into deep dive how we are going to do that. We are just seeing where exactly Mulesoft is used. Any questions on, especially whatever the topics from starting to beginning on this specific integrations and middleware on Mulesoft and different use cases? Any questions, so that we can jump into FAQs?
No questions, no questions.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let me know if you're able to see my queries document. So I will be sharing this running notes document and as well as this queries document once the session is completed. Now, we'll be updating these documents. So let me start with the very first query, right? So okay, I see some no. Could you please unmute yourself and tell me what exactly what is the question that you have? Let me unmute.
No questions, no questions.
Yes, but in chat I see some no. So I would like to pick other. So if you have any questions, right, could you please unmute yourself? So I am not able to unmute you. Okay, okay, fine. I see that there is a no in the chat, so that I asked. There are no
Oh.
questions. That's fine. Thank you. Yes. So if you see the FAQs, frequently asked questions. So who is eligible to learn Mulesoft, and what is the educational background required to learn Mulesoft? So the very first thing is, if you go through this, you will get a clear picture. So if you have, if you can be BTech, MTech, MCA, MSc, anyone is eligible to learn Mulesoft. Why? Because there is no prior knowledge required to learn Mulesoft, and freshers also are eligible to learn Mulesoft. So there is a job market for freshers as well, and not only that, if you have any educational gap, that is also fine for learning Mulesoft. That will not impact the applying for the job. Yeah. So when you go to the second one, so what is the technical prerequisites for starting Mulesoft? I already said there is no technical prerequisites required. If you have Java knowledge, right, that helps in your job while applying, or if some interviewer suddenly asks a Java question, that helps. But definitely, most of the Mulesoft interviews they will not ask Java questions. If some interviewers, if they ask, that helps. That's it. Um, but in the sessions we will be discussing all the interview questions, and we will also discuss some few question papers most of the interview questions will be covered in the session itself. All the interview questions, if you do practice the sessions, and I will be giving the POCs each and every day. I will be running some databases and some file systems in AWS, and they will be on always on. You need to connect to them and do some POCs through Mulesoft, connecting them to the through Mulesoft and fetching, pulling data. So these POCs every day we will be having POCs, and you need to do the POCs. And I will be always there. If you're stuck with any issue, right? I will be always there to resolve the issue. So do we need any Java programming for the Mulesoft? No, it is strictly not needed. Um, so if you have the Java class objects knowledge, that's fine. Anyway, we are not going to use those. Mule 4, whatever we are discussing is completely on Mule 4. Mule 4 doesn't require any prior Java knowledge. So what are the job opportunities in today's market? So in today's market, so most of the projects, most of the opportunities are in India, where the projects are related. Our projects are from USA, UK, Germany, Canada, Australia. So from these as well, most of the projects will be from USA and the European countries. Yes. So as there is a market in USA and European countries, definitely for the outsourcing it comes to India. So there is a huge market in India. So if you want to see, you just go to Naukri and or Indeed, just type Mulesoft developers and see how many jobs, or go to LinkedIn and see how many jobs are getting posted every day. Yeah. If you want me to do that, let me go check in Naukri. Okay, there is some account logged in. Cool. Let me type Mulesoft. Okay, there is a drop down. Oh. I'm going on mute for a minute. Give me 1 minute. Are you able to see my screen? Someone help me to. Could you please reply?
Yes, your screen was visible, but I think
It is.
it's loading the page.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let you some give that. Fine. Yeah. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Internet issue. Hey all, let me rejoin back. I see some issues, huh? Okay, be online. I sorry when I was speaking on mute, so I thought you guys were not responding. You are able to see my screen, right? Correct?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. I was continuously asking, and I cross-verified that I was on mute. Okay, so let's move back to the queries. Okay, we are checking Naukri, correct? Let me open again. Naukri. Naukri login. Mm-hmm. This is not my profile. Let me see. I can sign out and log into the correct profile. So if you are a Mulesoft developer, right, you can see the search, how many searches you will be appearing into. Let me type Mulesoft developer. Naukri is down or what? I'm getting any response. Surprising. Okay, once it is up, we'll be able to show you. Okay, so let's move forward with the other questions. So how long will will the tool will be in the market? So this is a Mulesoft. Mulesoft is an Salesforce company. Most of the people don't know this. Mulesoft parent company is Salesforce. So all the Salesforce now, the Salesforce, what it is doing is it is forcing the markets who is a client business users. Whenever wherever they are using Salesforce, wherever there are integrations related to Salesforce, they are forcing the business users to use Mulesoft. So definitely there is no doubt that it will be there for next 20 years. That's for sure. If you learn MuleSoft. So something like Microsoft, if you see Microsoft, if there are my Azure users or some Azure users, Microsoft forces you to design the programming languages in .NET. .NET is of Microsoft, correct? So that's why most of the, if they are using Azure services, most of their programming language will be .NET. Whenever there are applications, most of their programming language will be .NET. So here as well, wherever there is a Salesforce is forcing to use MuleSoft. So for no doubt, in next 15 to 20 years, it will be in the market. So should you be certified, MuleSoft certified to eligible to apply the jobs? So, yes, for few MNCs, it is required. For few MNCs, MuleSoft level 1 developer certificate is required to apply for the job, not to apply for the job, to work for them. Yeah. So some companies definitely ask for certification before applying for the job as well. So it is better to have the certification. So from this course you will be able to clear the certifications. I will be discussing few model papers which I have already collected, where you will get the same type of questions in your exams. So if you are able to understand that model papers, you will be able to you are good to go with clearing the question paper. You are good to go with clearing your exam. So what are the types of certificates that will be available, that you can clear? Yeah, these are the certificates available in Mulesoft. The first certificate is MCD, Mulesoft Certified Developer. Next is MCPA, Mulesoft Platform Architect. So if you are going for a platform engineer role, you need to clear this MCPA certificate. MCD certificate is a prerequisite for this MCPA certificate. MCPA certificate is a prerequisite. So sorry, MCD certificate is prerequisite for this both. MCIA as well. You need to. This is for Mulesoft Certified Integration Architect. If you want to become an integration architect and give some demos and designs to the customers, you need to be a Mulesoft Certified Integration Architect. Yeah. So from this, and the next question, from this course, what is the outcome? Say what certificates that you can clear. So you can clear these MCD certificates. I will be providing model papers and we'll be discussing on what questions that will be that can come in exam. And once you clear the certification, you are good to go with MCPA as well. You will get the knowledge, but for clearing, we are not going to discuss on model papers and all in this course. So what is the duration of this course? The duration of the course is 45 days. In this 45 days, we are going to prepare the resumes, and in from the 30th day itself, we are going to start preparing for resumes and applying for the job. So what is the duration of the class daily? The duration of the class is 1 hour every day, every day from 1 hour from Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday is holiday. So if instructor gets any issue during the weekdays, right? We may take backup classes on Saturdays. So depending upon feasibility, we will discuss with the candidates. Depending upon their feasibility, we will schedule the sessions on weekends if required. Yeah. How do I practice done after the class? So once the session is done, we'll be sharing our running notes as well as our PPTs. Not only that, each and every once complete our session, I will be assigning some POCs, that point where proof of content, whatever that we discuss, we will be doing some POCs on it. I will be assigning some POCs and I will be doing some POCs in the session. So you will be doing the practice, you will be practicing the POCs once the session is done. How do you help the assistance? How do you get the assistance from the, if you get stuck somewhere in the practice? So once you roast for this, once you nominate for this course, right, we will be creating a WhatsApp group where I will be available I will be always available in that WhatsApp group, and also all the candidates will be available in that candidates group. Where you stuck somewhere, you put a screenshot or you put the log message in the WhatsApp group, where the other candidates also can see. If they are able to resolve that issue, they can answer. If they are also not able to answer, or if I am able to answer first, I will be putting that answer in that group. Yeah. So can I get help for the resume preparation? So this is always we will be helping you. Not only Harsha, not only me, Harsha Academy also helps here to preparing your resumes and marketing your resumes. Yeah. So if you miss any class, right, due to some emergency, so my intention is that you should not miss any session. So if you miss any sessions, right, if any personal emergency, that is 1 or 2 sessions is fine. In overall batch, in overall course, 1 or 2 session is fine. That where you can discuss if you missed and you are able to not understand the very next session, and you can come to me. I'll try to manage that. So if you are missing the whole week, and very next morning you come and you are not able to understand anything, you try to discuss the same scenario with the academy, Harsha Academy. They will try to accommodate you. If you are okay to for the next batch in the coming 6 months, they will try to accommodate you in the next batch. Yeah. What if you are not able to continue with the course? Okay, this is the question I answered in the earlier question as well. So in the next 6 months they will see what is the best batch that that we can start. So we'll start the batch wherever you have missed, right? This from the same topic we can continue. So are you going to build the project from scratch? Yes, definitely we are going to build the projects from scratch, and we are going to discuss the real-time projects, and we are going to do the POCs. And as I said, each and every session I'm going to assign you POCs. You have to do that. Are you going to provide any soft copy? Yes, I'm going to provide the running notes and the cookbook. As well as the jar files that we develop, the POCs. I will be uploading into the GitHub. You can pull that from the GitHub, and also I'll be sharing and uploading these links in the GitHub. You can pull that. I'll make that repository as a restricted repository to the users who nominate to the session. Yes. So coming back, what kind of support? Okay, what kind of support do I get after training? So after training, I will be always available for your job support. For your if you are stuck somewhere in your job, if you are doing your job and you got a real-time issue, some production or QA environment, so we will be discussing. I will be able to answer them, and I will be available to answer them. Yeah. As a student, what should be your expectations from the Mulesoft? Okay, this one, yeah, as I is written here, this one is your choice. Okay, let's open the bridge. You can discuss this one. So, what is your expectation on learning Mulesoft? So, what made you to come to this course, to learn this course? You want to make a job role change, or you are a job seeker and you want to get a job in Mulesoft as the market is high? So what was your expectation? Depending upon your expectation, if you still have any queries, we can discuss. So depending upon your expectation, so your expectation may be role change um, or getting a job. So there may be different expectations like learning new technology. So what was your expectation? Anyone like do you still have any questions from the expectations, friends, or all your questions got answered? Type yes if you are good. I don't see any yes. You want me to repeat all the questions?
No, no, no.
It's fine. I was waiting for some replies. Okay. Thank you. You can unmute yourself if you still have any questions, right? Apart from this, we are uh, open to discuss. You can discuss on whatever the jobs, types of jobs that comes. Let me see this one. Got uploaded or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. I have a doubt regarding once we have done with the training,
Yes, please.
yeah, you will be assisting in the interviews. Okay, when we are on to the work, okay, on
Yes.
board, we doesn't have any experience, right?
Yes.
So we will get any assistance?
Yes. So this is the other part. So our agenda of the course is just to support the students till clearing the interviews.
Okay,
So after that, I personally, if you reach out to me, I will try, or me or academy will try to assign someone, or will try to help us. It's not in the course content. It's apart from, it's like in gratitude, like depending upon concerns from the candidates, we will try to help them. So see, most of the issues, right? So if you are applying for a fresher role, it's not a problem. So if you
Okay.
have fresher roles, as a fresher, the Mulesoft roles, they will not be expecting much from you. They will train you. They will train you, as you already had the course, already had Mulesoft course. You will be easily able to catch the training. So if you are a fresher, so if
Okay.
fresher,
What?
not an issue. Freshers, you will getting job. The expectations from the fresher is he should be having good knowledge in APIs and Mulesoft tool, and how the Mulesoft tool is being used in the market. So that one we will be discussing in the course by doing
Okay.
the PPTs and real-time examples. This is from the
Oh,
fresher.
okay. What is the package for the freshers?
So the freshers, right? So from the Mulesoft front, the package will be from 3.5 to 6. It varies from 3.5 to 6
For freshers.
for freshers.
Okay.
Yes. So when it comes to experienced candidate, that means if you are have an educational gap and you have kept a fake resume on Mulesoft itself. For you have consider you have a 2 years gap and you kept an 2 years fake experience on Mulesoft. So by
Okay.
doing the POCs, whatever the POCs that we are do in the session, that is more than enough. I will be giving you some templates and projects where you can tell them in the interview. So how to explain them in the interviews, you can explain them in the same.
Sorry, your voice was breaking.
Yes, yes. Let me mute you. Are you able to hear me now? Yes. Okay. So if there is an educational gap, consider we have put in fake experience of 2 years in MuleSoft. Whatever the projects that I give you, the templates, I will provide you the resumes for the fake to if there is an educational gap, right? If they want to put some experience, you can put that same projects. I'll be explaining about the projects. I'll be discussing what can be the interview questions from that the projects that you have kept. So when you come to the experience from 2 to 4, the package is around 8 to 12. So that is what the Deloitte is offering recently. One of my candidate, one of my friend, where I trained him or placed into Deloitte with 10 lakhs. The package is 10 lakhs. So that is the base package for 2 years experience. 10 lakh is the base package. 10 to 14 is the base package for 2 years experience. From 4 years plus experience, 18, when it starts from 16 to 20 is the package. The base package is 16 for 4 years experience for MuleSoft. It may extend up to 18. So if you put in resume of 4 years experience, so it can vary from 16 to 18. That is the job market of MuleSoft. So if you are more years experience, right? If you are leads or an architect, it may vary from 20 to 30. So you can clearly see, okay, it loaded, and clearly see that 5 days ago it got posted, the lead up to 30 lakhs, work from home permanently. You can see different technologies. It is posted only one day. The most important thing, when you check, right, check the days, how many days it got posted. If there are recently posted, right, that means job market is very high. If you see one day ago, that means if you see most of the things will be one day ago, 4 day ago, 3 day ago. So whenever you put in a resume, you will definitely get the very first call will be from the Accenture. If you move forward and see the Accenture, I'm not seeing any, see the Accenture, Accenture, MuleSoft 227, 428. So different. So different roles, different packages, different companies. So you can see 7 days ago. So this is the job market. This is only in Naukri. You can search in LinkedIn and as well as Indeed. Any questions on job market? Okay, I take this as yes, and we'll move forward. Yeah. So let's start our let's introduce ourselves to the Mulesoft. So what Mulesoft is, life cycle of the Mulesoft. So where exactly we discussed where exactly Mulesoft been used. So how to use it, where we discussed how to discuss on how we need to know the life cycle, how exactly what is the life cycle of Mulesoft. So all the projects, all the business, whenever there is a business requirement, all the MNCs will be able to by using Mulesoft. Our main agenda is to solve that business problem. So how to solve that problem? There should be some life cycle. So this is the life cycle of Mulesoft. So in Mulesoft, as we discussed, use cases like sending data from one system to other systems. Similarly, as we discussed about designing of APIs, consider designing of applications. Yeah, nothing but Mulesoft is an application. What is this? So here, if you consider use case one, application A is sending data to application B. How it is sending, we ignore it, but it is sending through Mulesoft. So how we are going to design the Mulesoft application? So Mulesoft is also an application. It pulls the data from application A and puts the data into the application B. To make this happen, to make this use case happen, what is the life cycle that Mulesoft need to follow? So this is the life cycle that Mulesoft need to follow. First, so if you see these circles, right? So it need to cross its first circle. Once first circle is completed, it need to jump into the second circle. Once the second circle is completed, it need to jump into the third circle. Once the third circle is completed, that means your application is ready to use. That means application A can send the data to application B by using Mulesoft. So once you complete these circles, only you will be able to transmit the data from application A to application B. Yeah. So how and how we are going to do that, and what is this design, simulate, feedback, validate? So first cycle, if you see the first cycle, whenever you get a business requirement, here our business requirement is getting data from application A and sending that data to application B. Correct? So here what we are doing is we need to design some Mulesoft application, and we need to see the designing. So first thing is designing the Mulesoft application. We need to have a prototype, right? How we are going to do that, how we are going to pull the data from application A and put it into application B. So that is design. So if you see design, okay, I can't zoom it. Okay, you're able to see, right? Yeah. So if you see designing, the design phase, how we are going to design it. So in Mulesoft, you have two things: Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio. This is the cloud platform. So what this Anypoint platform is and what Anypoint Studio is. Yeah. So sorry, what Anypoint platform is. So Anypoint platform is a cloud based application where Mulesoft is exposing. So this one has its own functionality. What Anypoint platform does, while deep diving, we will see what exactly the functionalities it exposes. But as of now, you remember that it's a cloud platform where Mulesoft offers for the deployments and for designing. Yeah, for Anypoint platform, you have only two things: Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio. Anypoint Studio, where we write the code. Anypoint platform is where we deploy the code and design the code. That's it. Design, deploy. I will write it. Design, deploy will be done here. Development will be done here. That's it. So let me show you. Oh my god. Looking for a new user. Existing user. Yeah. So these are the functionalities when I jump into Anypoint platform, right? So these are the functionalities. What is this Anypoint platform and how to create this account? We will see in coming sessions. But I just want to show you the functionalities that Mulesoft offers in Anypoint platform. So different functionalities it offers. See, it offers design center, exchange, data graph, access management, API manager, runtime manager, and all. So what each component will be doing, we will be seeing further. But coming back to our life cycle, we need to design a MuleSoft application that transmit the data from application A to application B. So here in the design phase where we are going to design, so this is a section where we are going to design, and how we are going to design we will see later, and what we are going to design we will see later. Yeah, so this is the phase where this is the phase where we are going to design our application. So how we are going to send the data from application A to application B, we are going to design it. This designing is done here, correct? In the same design center only, the simulation, feedback, and validation. Simulation is nothing but without implementation we can expose our application to the user. So simulation, MuleSoft exposes the simulation feature that will be present in the design center component itself. So we'll see when we come to the design center, when we are discussing about design center. So this simulation as well we will see. So designing will be done in the design center, simulation will be done in the design center. Feedback, once simulation is done, that means without implementation we are exposing our application to the user. That means user can give his feedback. So the feedback can be given by the user here just by seeing, by exposing our design, by exposing this, showing our designs, he can give some feedback, and by validating them, once validation is also successful, when all this cycle is successful, we will release the application to release the application for development. So in first cycle is completely on designing. We just designed it, simulated it, took the feedback from the business and validated it and released it for the implementation, actual implementation. That means connecting the application A and application B and pulling the data and putting the data into the application B. So that one implementation will be done in the build phase. Build phase is a phase where we are going to implement. So here build phase comes into picture here. Development is nothing but studio. MuleSoft has its studio. So on local we have to something like Java we have Eclipse, for Spring Boot we have Spring Toolsuit, for Python we have different Anaconda and different, right? Similarly for MuleSoft we have Anypoint Studio. We can download that from the Google and we can install it. That we'll see how the implementation will be done. We'll moving forward we'll see by pulling an example. Yeah, test as well. So what is how the test scripts will be written in MuleSoft? So if you consider Java, we have JUnit to write the test scripts, right? So what in the MuleSoft, what is a testing framework? So there is a testing framework especially for MuleSoft. So that testing framework, we will see what exactly the testing framework. So after this life cycle, I will be discussing on course content. So there I will show you what exactly the testing framework is. So okay, testing is also done, a unit testing or automation testing. So once the testing is also done, we'll move forward and release the application for deployment. So securing is a phase where for your application that you develop, you want to secure it. That means by applying some security features. Consider if you are logging into the Facebook, the very first is login ID and password. For your account, there is a login ID and password. It's a specific security for specific user. So that kind of security or different OAuth or basic authentications or client ID enforcement, like client ID, client secret policies, different type of policies. So we'll see what a policy is and client ID enforcement, client ID secrets. So how that can be done? This is the section where we do. So this is a phase, not the section. This is a phase. At this phase, our implementation testing is done and we came to the release. And here there is the very first step is, if you want to secure your application, this is the phase where you secure it. No, you don't want to secure it, you ignore this phase. Then it go for the deployment. So it's a cloud deployment. You are going to deploy on the Anypoint platform itself. So here, so that build and test was done in Anypoint Studio, and again the outer circle is there, right? Outer cycle is done in Anypoint platform. We have two sections, Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio. Anypoint platform, again we came outer cycle. Outer cycle is completely depend on anypoint platform. We'll be doing securing will be done in anypoint platform. Deployment will be done on anypoint platform. At what section it will be done, we will see. At what section it will be done is the runtime manager is a section where the deployments happen. Not only this, we can see CI/CD deployments where it internally connects to the runtime manager. This is the runtime manager where we deploy our application. Yeah. So monitoring. So there will be section for monitoring as well to monitor our application. So once monitoring is done, if there is any issues you see, we troubleshoot. This is the phase to troubleshoot. While monitoring, if you see any issues, this is the phase to troubleshoot. If you don't have any issues, you'll skip this phase and move forward and managing. So managing the application comes here. So there are few sections: manage API manager, runtime manager, where you manage your security manager. You manage different things, managing the policies, managing the application, managing the JKS, trust store, key stores will be done here. So while discussing each and every component, we will deep dive depending upon the POCs. We'll start with a POC. Everything will be, we'll start with a real-time example. We'll learn the design center with a real-time example, exchange with a real-time example, everything with a real-time example. So this is the life cycle that we need to follow to develop an application in Mule. So as use case 1 sends the data from application A to application B. So Mulesoft is needed. So whenever you want to design a application in Mule, so this is the life cycle that you need to follow. First, you need to go to platform, design the application, validate it and release that once, and then come to the implementation phase in Anypoint Studio. Then build it, nothing but develop it, test it, and again deploy the application to the cloud. That is nothing but from the Anypoint platform. So this is the life cycle of a Mule application. Any questions on life cycle? Don't think what we are going to do inside Mulesoft. Just think Mule as an application. What is the life cycle of that application, and what are the components, what are the phases that you see in the life cycle of the Mulesoft, and what are the sections, and at this phase what is the component that we are going to. So the main agenda of this telling this life cycle, right? So when you try to design a Mule application, what you have to put in mind is you will be having only two things, that is Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio. So what phase goes where? So build phase, if you see build phase goes to Anypoint Studio. So where is going to build this application, you are going to do in Anypoint Studio. So monitoring, where we are going to monitor an application, where you are going to do in Anypoint platform. So suddenly your role is something like you are not going to develop the application, you are just going to monitor the applications. You are a support engineer and your role is to just monitor the applications. So where you are going to do, you are not going to do the whole life cycle. So you are just going to log into the platform and just check the monitoring section and see the applications. So that is the reason. So my intention of this is what Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio is, what phases are related, which phase is related to which. Any questions? You will understand this more once we start our POC. Any questions? Type yes if you are good. Okay, I see a no. Could you please unmute and put your question?
No questions. No questions.
Okay. There is one more. Okay, there is yes, but there is one no. I don't know. I don't see his name, but I see him as admin. Uh, okay, that is no questions. Okay, fine. I thought no means you are not able to follow. Okay, cool. Could you please ping your name in the chat? All your names in the chat. Could you please do that? that for me? Yes, Nitish. It's a very big task, man, to understand your name. Like I was seeing only admin. Okay, cool. Short of this. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. So this is Mulesoft life cycle. So when we move forward, what are the roles? So from this course, what are the roles that we can apply for? So these are the different roles in Mulesoft. So from the design to management, design, implementation, management, you see this phase. We already seen whatever the phases life cycle that we seen, he gave in a single line: design, implement, manage. So who is going to do that? If you are an API manager, if you are a manager, you need to have the knowledge from end to end. So if you see an integration developer, so most of your role will be in implementation. When it comes to the implementation, what we discussed, implementation is studio. So you should be very strong in studio to do this role. Integration developer, if you are applying for an integration developer, and in the market as well, most of the jobs are related to integration developer. So integration developer, if you see the phase where he is coming into picture, is how this one, how I kept is depending upon the knowledge, this guy should have the knowledge in implementation. So API analyst should have the knowledge in design, something like that. So let's start with this integration developer. He should be having knowledge in implementation, where the implementation phase is nothing but our build phase. The build phase, we should be having good knowledge in Anypoint Studio. Yes. So we will, depending upon, by doing the POCs, definitely by the end of the session you will be doing all each and every use case, business use case, whatever the requirement they provide, you will be able to do that. Yeah. Network architect, application network architect as well, he should be good in implementation phase. Why? Because uh, the networks that we connect to, so as discussed, application A connects to application B. There we discussed Salesforce connects to SAP. Give me a minute, let me grab some water. Yes. Network architect. So application network architect, where he comes into picture is where there is an SAP system and Salesforce system. So when it comes to the connecting to different cloud environments, right? The Salesforce is on different cloud and the SAP system is on different cloud. So when we try to connect them, this application through MuleSoft, the very first issue that comes is firewall issue. So this is the guy, the network engineer is the guy who need to set up all the network related issues, that firewall issues or any setups related issues will be done by the network architect. Again, ops are nothing but support engineers, where support engineers should have the knowledge in this should be here management, where he should have the knowledge completely on Anypoint platform, where he will be working on deployments, checking the logs, and rebooting the systems, bringing down the JVMs, bringing up the JVMs. So ops guy should have the platform knowledge, more strong in platform. Yeah, the API admins, these admins should have the knowledge inside API Anypoint platform. They should have the knowledge, especially in access management. So giving access to the specific APIs and all, we'll see what environments they can give the access, and all that will be done in access management. So these API admins comes into picture. API analyst is nothing but where they analyze the API's business requirements and give some demos. You can call him as an architect as well. Yeah, there is one more role, platform engineer, where they do the DevOps things. You can apply for those roles as well by having MuleSoft deployments. where the platform engineer does only Mulesoft deployments and Mulesoft related configurations, how the Jenkins will be configured to the different repositories, how the deployment should happen, how the Mulesoft deployment should happen to the if it is an on-prem, that means on-prem is nothing but their servers, and if it is a cloud deployment, how the cloud deployment should happen. These are the different roles. So from this course, the roles that you are going to apply is integration developers, ops roles, and platform engineers roles. Okay, any questions? Okay, let me see the chat. Okay, I don't see any questions. Okay, cool. Yes, so let's discuss on course content. So any questions till now on these 4 slides? We'll be discussing on the next session on where exactly Mulesoft will be used, and again on a bigger picture we'll see, we'll deep dive more on connectors and all, and we'll jump into the topic moving forward. So as of now, till now we have discussed about life cycle and roles that we can apply for, and after this course, and moving forward we'll be seeing the course content. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Till then I will open the course content. Are you able to see? Are we good, or shall I start with the course content? What we are going to discuss in the whole course, how we are going to discuss, and what is the sections? Yeah, what are the topics that we are going to discuss on? Any questions? Type yes if you are good.
No questions. No questions.
Yes, thank you. So let's start with the course contents. So very first thing is we'll start with any point fundamentals. So fundamentals, in fundamentals, designing and we'll discuss about. So this topic, at the end of the topic, you will be at the end of this topic, right? Fundamentals, you'll be able to learn these things. So what API-led connectivity is, what an API is, what a web services are, what REST web services, what SOAP web services are, and how we are going to design the SOAP web service, and how we are going to design the REST web service in Mulesoft, and how we are going to designing, where exactly we are going to design it, and build it and deploy it, and we are going to see different connectors here, and different small logics we are going to see, and we are going to deploy the application. This batch processing we are not going to see in this fundamentals topic. We'll move forward at the end of the session. We'll see on batch processing. Designing the APIs, what API is, what web services are, what microservices are, we'll be seeing in this fundamentals. Especially it will be we'll be concentrating on. Okay, you will be not able to see my cursor. Are you able to see the red color pointer? Type yes if you are able to see, so that from next time I will be using this pointer. Okay, yes, you are able to see my pointer. Okay, good. Uh, yeah. Give me a minute. Spotlight. See, so in this fundamentals topic, we will be discussing on what web services are. Before that, we'll also discuss what microservices, monolithic applications, how monolithic applications what is SOA architecture, and comes to microservice level architecture, and then we'll come to see what API-led connectivity is. Before that, we'll see what web services are, REST web services, SOAP web services. Then we'll come into API-led connectivity. Then after API-led connectivity, we'll see how API-led connectivity is done in the architecture in Mulesoft. And different here we will be seeing one POC where we'll be connecting to the database. We'll be running some select queries on the database, trying to pull the data and exposing some services, exposing some REST services, that is APIs. So we'll be doing the POC. The POC that we'll be doing is running the select, connecting to the database, running the select query, getting the data to a different application, sending the data in the JSON format. What JSON is, we will discuss. Sending the data to the different target systems, we will see. So the POC that we are going to deal here is connecting to the database and fetching the data and sending back the data. Not only that, only that we will be discussing. On error handling and all, we are not going to discuss here. We are going to discuss that independently when we come to each and every topic, when we deep dive into topics. So after that, we'll be jumping into RAML. Oh, my system got hanged. Hope you are able to see my screen now. Yeah. So now you are going to see the RAML. What RAML is? It's a RESTful API modeling language. Yeah. It's a language, something like Java and Python. It's a language used to design an APIs. What API is, we will discuss. How, to design these APIs, we are going to use RAML. So RAML, we need to know. We need to know each, and as it is a language, something like Java and Python, we need to know what are the data types, what exactly compiler is, how exactly we need to know what is the indentations we need to follow. We'll be discussing everything in this topic. What RAML is, not only here, RAML is also used for different things, defining ways, basically designing an API. RAML is used. Not only Mulesoft, many more also uses RAML. Yeah. So once RAML is done, we'll jump into production ready. So production ready integrations, nothing but we are ready. We have done a POC. What that POC will try to deploy it into dev environment. What dev, QA and prod environments looks like in Mulesoft, I will show you. So this deployment, we'll see how this manual deployment we will try to do through AnyPoint platform. At the end of the session, we will try to do the deployment using CI/CD. But first, we will see apart from by putting the confusions aside, we will do a manual deployment. So we'll see how the applications runs in Mulesoft in cloud. Yeah. Then we will discuss on Mule 4. Mule 4 for Mule 3 users. If you are already an existing Mule 3 user, you want to learn Mule 4. So what are the changes that been done from Mule 3? So Mule 3 is a version. So Mule 3 to Mule 4, what are the changes been done? And if you get a project in Mule 3, how to handle? And if you get a project in Mule 4, how to handle? We will discuss here. So then once this is also done, we will jump into the advanced concepts like munits, the testing frameworks. Here, up to here, our building the applications is done. So now we need to jump into a topic where we need to test our applications. It may be unit testing, or it may be writing the test scripts. So like JUnits, we have MUnits. In Mulesoft, we have MUnits, Mule Testing Framework. So how to design the flows, how to write the scripts and all, we'll be discussing. So it is very important topic. Why? Because before deployment, in any cycle, any life cycle of the deployment, you see, before deployment phase, there will be a testing phase. So testing, they will run some test scripts. That means nothing but they run the MUnit test scripts. If MUnit test scripts fails, it will not go for the deployment. So our ultimate goal is to go for the deployment. The test scripts fails, we are not going for the deployment. So then next. So here is where we are going to concentrate more, and each and every subtopic level. What is flow? What is subflow? What is private flow? These are the components in Mulesoft. So each and every component we will take. On each and every component, we are going to do the POCs. So we may be connecting to Salesforce, we may be connecting to S3 buckets, we may be connecting to different databases. we will pick a scenario and we will do that scenario by using while discussing these components. So most of the things, right? So first one, we'll try to, in the fundamentals, we'll try to create a sample POC. But when it comes to the Anypoint Studio level topics, right, we'll see each and every topic, each and every, we'll do more POCs, nearly 5 to 10 POCs we will do, where everything is related to industrial use cases. We'll do them and we'll publish them into the GitHub. So this is the course contents that we are going to deal with. So once this is done, we are at the end of the session, we are going to discuss on question papers. Not only question papers, preparing the interviews, preparing for the
Your voice was not clear.
could you please tell where it got broke? Vikram, are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
Now,
now it's clear. Now it's clear.
could you please tell me where it got broke? At MU, shall I start from MuleSoft Advanced Concepts?
No. Anypoint Studio level topics.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Anypoint Studio level topics, so each and every, these are the component, the studio level topics, which are very important. Why? Because we are going to apply for the jobs for integration developers, as we seen earlier. So we are going to apply for integration developers, ops engineer, and platform engineer. So as integration developer, you have to have the strong knowledge on Anypoint Studio. So these are the components, whatever the project may be, whatever the business logic may be. So these are the components that a developer is going to use that to resolve that use case, business use case. So on each and every component that we are going to do a POC, and we are going to publish that to the GitHub. And once this is done, we will see few more examples of real time and again a big projects interfaces. I will give you some designs, how exactly in real time the designs comes, the requirements comes. I will show the functional requirement documents, and I will show you the design PPTs, how the architects design them. Once the architect design them, it comes to the developer. So I'll show you what are the steps that developers need to be follow to start the development. And in this as well, we will be following the best practices, same as industry standards. We will be designing the POCs. So once the POCs are done, we will be jumping into model papers. I didn't add that section here, but we will be jumping into discussing the model papers. Okay, we'll be discussing on model papers, and we'll be discussing on what exactly the models of questions that can come into in Mule MCD certification exam. So the last section, these are the setup requirements. Here, this is the most important, Bala. And Anypoint platform account, I'll show you how to create this. So apart from this, I guess everyone will have the, so before coming, right, you try to install this setups. Yeah. So if you have any questions, we will discuss. We can discuss in the group, and we'll try to resolve them. So these are the things. You can ignore this Apache Maven. Why? Because in Mule 7.11 it is inbuilt. Embedded Mule for runtime and embedded Maven you will get. You can ignore this. But these are the prerequisites, man, to do the Mule. The system prerequisites, not the candidate prerequisites. The system prerequisites to do the POCs. Yeah. Any questions? Type yes if you are good. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now I'm open to questions. Like we are done with our session. So this is MuleSoft, and moving forward, we'll see how exactly. So this is the studio. So these are the few database tools we will be discussing. We'll be using this database tool DBViewer and MySQL Bench, and we'll be using the Postman to test our applications. So these all tools you'll get hands on once you nominate and we start the POCs. So this is the main studio. I can show you once it starts, right? I can show you how studio look like. You already seen how platform looks like, right? We'll see how studio will look like. So this is how studio will look like. If you want to do some POCs, so it's something, if you have Eclipse knowledge, right? So you will be able to easily understand how what exactly it is looking like. Say, so here you are going to design the flows. So this is the section we'll be discussing, but I just want to show you how exactly it looks like. It's a drag and drop, drag, drop, drag, drop. That's it, drag and drop. Inside drag and drop, mostly related like configurations, writing a few lines of scripts or something like that. Mappings will be done here using transfer message component. So each component, each and every component we will see, we'll discuss. So this is how the studio will look like. So you are going to deploy, write the code here, send the data to the platform. So I'm done with my session. Any other questions from your side?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I have asked this question previously also. This one is regarding once we have done with the course, whether we will get the support or not. That's the our main thing.
So we'll try to assign. See, job support is different. Okay, let me stop recording.